Hi guys, welcome back to another video.
So today we're going to be doing things differently and we're going to be reacting to...
Share my story.
Is it called That's My Story?
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Or story, that's whatever.
Yeah, we're going to be reacting to a story and hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Well, you can't comment. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram so you guys can
TikTok,
comment and talk to us.
Facebook, and whatever you want.
Yep. Okay, so.
And we got our glasses. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers,
It's gonna be a
cheers,
bit
cheers,
thirsty.
cheers, cheers.
Okay, ready? Oh no.
She screenshot.
Oops.
My stepmother treats me like her personal Maddie.
Maid. My
Maid.
stepmother treats me like her personal maid.
Hi everyone, I'm Naomi. I know all kids love their mothers, but I really loved mine. She deserved all the love in the world and more. It was bewildering how kind she was. I believe she was sent to this world to show others how to be a good person. When she completed her mission, God called her back. She had cancer, but I didn't know it for a long time. My parents hid it from me. I thought she had been visiting my grandmother for a while, but she was in the hospital. One day, my dad picked me up from school and took me there. I was shocked to see my mom in bed. She looked so sick, and yet she was smiling. But she had a hard time speaking. I had to lean in very close to hear her. Naomi, my sweet girl, unfortunately I won't be around much longer. But I'll keep loving you. Always remember that.
That's so sad.
She's like,
Aww. But why is like the mom's eyes purple?
like it's like
Probably from
rainbow.
chemotherapy, yeah?
What's that?
Chemotherapy.
What's that?
You know the treatment you get when you have cancer, right?
What treatment? I can't come in the video, guys. I'm sick. I don't know, Chrome.
Okay.
Ask your dad to find someone else to marry because you're still so young. You need a loving family to grow up in. Please love your new mother. Be a happy family. That's how I'll be at peace. It's all I'm asking of you. This is how my mom said goodbye to me. She died a few days later. I was really sad, but I was also in a state of shock. A week earlier, I had my beloved mother with me, and now, when I was just 13, she was gone. It took me a while to believe it, but eventually I realized I had no choice but to accept this reality. One day, a few months later, my dad came up to me and said, "Naomi, we're going out for dinner. I'd like to introduce you to someone." He looked sheepish as he said it. I couldn't help myself. "I don't want to meet anyone," I yelled. This time he looked at me. "Sweetie, I promised your mother that I would bring you up in a loving family." "That was your mom's last wish. Please understand me," he said. I nodded in desperation. He was right, since she had told me the same thing. That was the day I met Cora. She was my dad's friend from college.
Is it just me or does she look creepy?
Screenshot that. That's gonna be the thumbnail. That's freaking.
She is creepy. This kind of reminds me of like Cinderella and her stepmom. She looks evil.
It kind of.
They weren't very close back then, but had reconnected through Facebook. She was divorced,
Facebook's the way, guys. Facebook's the way.
had a daughter around my age who was living with her dad. That fact alone should have been enough to tell me that she wasn't a good person. How could a mother leave her daughter? How could she let her live in another home? I didn't think about that at first. In fact, I liked her. She seemed affectionate and interested in me. She asked me a ton of questions to get to know me. She was also really funny. I laughed so hard that night that my face hurt. On our way back home, my dad said, "You like her too, right?"
Is it just me? When I laugh, does my face hurt? It does.
Yeah, your cheeks get all sore and stuff.
Yeah. And like you can't breathe
Yeah.
when you're laughing
Yeah.
so
me too.
hard.
I'm like that.
Really?
I smiled and nodded. "You don't have to love her like your mom. Not that it's even possible. All I'm asking is that you give her a chance, he said. I don't know if he would have listened to me if I'd said I didn't like her, but I still regret being so positive about her. After that, things moved really quickly. They got married, and Cora moved in with us. Now I had a stepmother. Both my mom and dad wanted me to love her, so I resolved to try my best, especially for my mom's sake. However, I quickly realized that this wasn't possible. Cora was like the evil stepmother in fairy tales.
God,
Every day I would discover some...
She looks like the evil stepmom.
She's not before because the dad was, but
Now look, he's changed up.
yeah.
I don't trust people like that.
Knew I didn't like about her. For one thing, she was a control freak. She didn't want the door to my room to be closed.
What?
Whenever I closed it, she'd open it. Finally, she made my dad remove the door.
What? They removed the door? Wow, talk about invasion of
That's
privacy.
crazy and cash.
What?
Excuse was that the door had to be painted. It turned out that she was also really selfish. Her doctor told her to consume less salt or cut it out completely if possible. From that day on, she started cooking without salt. She wouldn't even allow us to have salt on the table. She said she'd be tempted to use it, and therefore we couldn't have any either.
Tempted to use salt. Really? Come on, woman.
Tempted.
Self-control.
What's tempted?
Like, she can't control herself. She'll, want to use it.
Excuse me. I like salt in
You
my.
can't take away humans'
Chips.
right to have salt just because you are not allowed to have salt. Gotta get your sodium.
She also had weird obsessions. For example, she'd never use a public bathroom. She believed that she would get all sorts of
What if you're busting or you needed diarrhea? What would you do?
What would you do exactly? That's savage.
diseases if she did.
Wait. Is that coronavirus germs?
No. It's just germs from the toilet, like normal germs.
No. That's coronavirus. Go get your mask.
She wouldn't let me use them either because she said I'd be bringing the bacteria home if I did. A few times I had to pee so bad that I had to run home. One weekend, my stepmom's daughter Amy came to stay with us after my...
If you need to pee, how would you have energy?
To run.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can never run if I need to pee. What? Bruh, I'm walking. Oh my god.
No.
insisted.
You're
I was
busting,
suspicious of her because of her mom, but I was wrong because Amy was nothing like her. It turned out that she was super cool and we had a great time. I think Cora didn't like that we got along because she kept on asking me to do chores while Amy and I were hanging out.
That's a rude mother. My mother is way better than that.
Yep. Amen. Alhamdulillah, bro. That is too much. Imagine every time you're laughing, you're chilling, and then it's like, go do your work, go do the dishes, go back.
I wouldn't listen to her because that's not my rude mom.
Yeah, but look, your dad loves her, so well, technically her dad loves her, so she has to do what she.
It's
that
probably
lady wants.
generation to generation. What if her mom was being rude to her?
Yeah.
It's probably like that.
For example, my dad always takes the trash out in the evening, but for the first time, she asked me to do it.
That's rude. I never literally do my chores and my mom does not care. She just does it for me.
We'll do it later, I said, but she mumbled something like, do it now so that it doesn't smell. This is just one example. She made me water all the plants. She made me clean the bathroom after she took a shower. She made me go out to the store to buy batteries for the TV remote and stuff like that. We were surprised each time. Amy knew her mother much better than I did and said, you never know what to expect from her. I'm sure she has her reasons, but only she knows what they are. My stepmother kept on treating me the same way in the following days. I didn't understand why. The only thing I could think of was that Amy and I got along. I thought she probably got jealous because she didn't get along with Amy, even though she's her mom. We're going to make our bed in the mornings, she said, but I protested. Why? I already make my own bed, I said. You need to learn to do housework. You'll need these skills later, she said, clearly making up an excuse. She was now making me take out the trash every day too, even though we...
That's the worst mom I've ever imagined. Like, if I was in that family, I would literally...
Someone coming to clean the house twice a week? She still made me vacuum everywhere, dust the furniture, and clean the floors after school. I couldn't say no because she always came up with weird excuses and didn't stop talking until I did. Sometimes I'd do what she asked just to shut her up. These were acceptable to a certain degree. The last straw was when she told me to wash her car. I won't wash your car. Who do you think I am, your personal maid? This is way too much, I yelled. She started crying right away. I didn't know how to react. This grown woman was crying like a baby. I ran to my room. If my room had a door, I would have slammed it. Cora cried nonstop for hours. When my dad came home, her eyes were swollen. He was surprised and asked what was wrong. Nothing, she said, acting like she didn't want.
Now the girl looks like the enemy.
Like
Evil stepmom.
Her eyes look like that. Like, do my eyes look like that? Wait, what?
She's trying to set her up. She's trying to set her up.
Really?
Tell him. My dad kept on asking, so she finally gave in and told him what was wrong. Apparently, I was treating her like an enemy since the day she moved in. I was being rude to her when she spoke to me. I was trying to come between her and my dad. I could clearly hear everything she said. She was making up all sorts of lies, but she put me in such a terrible position that if I told my dad that she was lying, it was as if I'd be confirming all that she was saying. My dad came into my room hours later. He just said, "I didn't expect this from you." My stepmom twisted everything, so denying it would have made me sound bad, so I didn't say anything. The next day, when I came back from school, my stepmother held out the keys to her car, smiling. "Wash my car if you don't want to disappoint your dad again," she said. I did it, but I was so angry that I cried. I didn't want her to make up new lies to my dad. As I was washing the car, I got an idea. If I logged into her social media accounts, would I find something in her messages that would help me? After washing the car, I took out the trash,
She's smart.
Very smart. Hacker. Genius.
Yeah.
in the bathroom, and took out the laundry from the washing machine. After a bunch of other chores, I went to my room and called Amy right away. I told her what was going on. "I need your help," I said. She said she'd be happy to help. "Do you know your mom's Facebook password? Any guesses?" I asked. "If she's still using the same password, it's the first 2 letters of our dog's name and her old car's license plate number," she said. She spelled it out and I wrote it down. I was shaking with anxiety. I opened my laptop and entered my stepmother's email.
Does she have anxiety?
Yeah. I'd have anxiety too, dealing with a woman like that.
Address and the password that Amy guessed, but it didn't work. Then I had another idea. I ran out and checked the license plate number of the car I had just washed. I came back and entered the new number. Bingo! I was in my stepmother's Facebook.
Well, that's good.
Juicy. Let's see what she finds, guys.
I quickly opened her messages. There was a long conversation between her and her sister where she described in detail all the things she made me do, everything she told my...
Oh my god. Because the pajamas should go to her.
and how she manipulated all of us. These messages were enough to show who she really was. There was also a message from her ex-husband. Her ex, who is Amy's dad, had written, "Start living an honest life. If you get caught again, I won't do anything to help you out this time." He was a lawyer, so Cora must have been involved in some criminal behavior. I didn't know what it was, though. You can guess what happened afterwards. When my dad came home, I called him to my room. I know it was wrong, but I had no other choice. "You need to read Cora's messages on Facebook," I said. My dad sat calmly and read through everything. He didn't say anything. He just took down some notes and made screenshots. Then he kissed me on my forehead and left. A while later, I heard the front door close. I guess my dad didn't want to have this conversation at home. He and Cora went out. When I went to bed, they still weren't back. When I woke up, Cora wasn't at home. While I was at school, she packed her stuff and left. I never saw her again. "Naomi, this was all my fault. I'm really sorry. I think we dodged a bullet." I talked to Cora's ex-husband. Turns out she really is a psycho.
Finally, he realizes she's a psycho. Finally. Honestly. That woman. She shouldn't have even been in the question. Honestly, you should do like a police check on people before you bring them into your family. Honest to God.
Like, I would like check the pockets, check everywhere.
No, you do a police. You go into the police register and you see if this person is a criminal. She's a criminal, and he didn't even know that. How crazy is that?
And he's a lawyer.
He's not a lawyer. The other one's a lawyer. Her stepsister's dad.
Now I get it.
Things could have happened to both of us. Thankfully, she can no longer hurt us.
Guys, that was crazy. Stepmoms are probably the most it's the riskiest business, guys. Like,
At least I'm not step.
yeah, that's tough. She lost her mom, and then she had to deal with that terrible lady soon after.
But that mom was so nice.
Her mom was so nice, and she even said, "Be nice to your stepmom. Be nice to her." Well, look, it just happened. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of different to what we usually do, and let us know if you like to see more of these kind of videos.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yay.
And we will see you all next time.
And peace.